Stephanie Olmo, she's tracking the first alert forecast. Steph.
Annabelle, yes, we're tracking another round of strong gusty winds across the area. So this time around, as opposed to what we experienced here last week, it's mainly confined to those typical Santa Ana wind-prone areas. Last week, we had it more widespread. Not the case this time around. But we're looking at sustained winds right around 20 to 25 miles an hour in places like Van Nuys up into Santa Clarita. Also gusting right around 22 miles an hour there in Oxnard. Also, the other area that we're watching is the Inland Empire down into Orange County, where we're seeing gusts just over 20 miles an hour in spots like Santa Ana and up into the San Bernardino area. Right now, we're seeing that was the sustained winds. Right now, we're looking at gusts closer to 40 miles an hour in these locations, especially out in the San Fernando Valley and Ventura County, where we're looking at gusts right around 30 to 40, even 45 miles an hour. That's the case there in Oxnard as we continue here late this morning. So how are things shaping up as we continue throughout the rest of the day today? Here's a look at the hour-by-hour gusts for Santa Clarita, where we'll keep it right around 40 to 50 miles an hour as we continue through this afternoon, dipping a little bit as we head into the evening, but not long, because we head into later on this evening, later on tonight. We'll have gusty winds upwards of 50 miles an hour out this way, and that will continue as we head into Tuesday morning. And that's why we have a red flag warning that remains in place, has been extended now until Wednesday for those typical wind-prone areas, and even including parts of the San Gabriel Valley. So we'll be watching that, of course, as we continue. You have the combination of the strong gusty winds, low relative humidity that raises the fire danger, and also something else that we are monitoring here. National Weather Service, they've put out a particularly dangerous situation red flag under this big warning to include certain areas, parts of the I-5 corridor. This is mainly north of Santa Clarita. You have part of the San Fernando Valley, including the city of San Fernando, stretching on over into portions of Ventura County and the western Santa Monica Mountains. So, of course, any fire that gets started has the potential to grow rapidly, and we could see extreme fire behavior. So, of course, it is very important to stay alert and stay safe. We'll continue to keep you updated throughout the course of the day. Annabelle, back to you.
Yeah, staying alert is key there. Stephanie, thank you very much for that. We're going to experience and the previous one.
Well, the good news, Annabelle, is the winds aren't expected to be as strong as what we experienced here last week. We had wind gusts over 80 miles an hour in some spots, especially in those wind-prone areas here last week. That's not expected to be the case as we continue into the coming days. Also, last week, it was more widespread. We felt the winds, especially in those wind-sheltered areas. This time around, not the case. It's mainly confined to those typical wind-prone areas we talk about. Right now, we're checking out Mount Wilson. This is another view of Mount Wilson where we have the trees swaying a little bit here. So it goes to show that, yes, we are feeling those winds as we continue here late this morning. Let's go over the wind gust futurecast. And again, as I highlighted, we're mainly focusing over those wind-prone areas, the Inland Empire, Orange County, Ventura County, and the western part of LA County, including Santa Clarita down into Malibu. You see the wind gusts over 40 miles an hour as we continue through this afternoon in these areas here. That will continue throughout part of the evening. Around 5, 6 o'clock, we start to see the wind sort of calm down a little bit, but it's still gusting pretty good, around 25 to 30 miles an hour. We're not done yet as we continue through the overnight hours and into the early morning hours here on Tuesday. We're still looking at wind gusts around 25, 35 miles an hour in some places, even a little bit higher than that, as you saw there in Malibu. But I want to take a closer look. Remember, I mentioned we have a PDS throughout portions of Ventura and LA County. So I want to hone in this area and check out your wind gusts as we continue throughout the day. You see some of that magenta. You see some of the orange. Again, we're looking at wind gusts over 30, 40 miles an hour. You see it right there. Moore Park down to Camarillo. As we continue through the afternoon, still gusting pretty good out this way. And also you see the burn scars. You see we have the Palisades fire there. You see the outline, the yellow outline, the Hearst fire, and also the Eaton fire. You see Altadena not looking at some strong winds. Yes, it will get breezy at times as we continue here later on this afternoon, but the main focus would be much of Ventura County and also the San Fernando Valley. We continue into early Tuesday. We start to see the winds ramp up again. Wind gusts over 35, 40 miles an hour in this general area. Simi Valley over to Porter Ranch as we continue. And that will be the issue. That's going to be the situation as we continue throughout the afternoon hours. So the winds will remain pretty steady. Of course, will vary at times, but for the most part, we're still looking at gusty winds, even though it starts to lighten up in some places. Even as we head into Tuesday night, we're still looking at gusts getting close to 30 miles an hour, like you see there in Simi Valley. So a reminder, we have wind advisories that remain in effect. A high wind warning will go in place for portions of Ventura County. We'll have more coming up right after the break.